What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It is HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. And I guess welcome to once again another convention recap video. I figured I'd do this convention recap. I know I'm really late making this because this was back in like late July before Monster Mania 59, but I still figure I'd do this one, and then I'll do the next one after this, which I did called New Jersey Horror Con in Edison about a couple weekends ago. So I figured I'd do the first of the two convention recaps. So this is for the Atlantic City Celebrity Convention, and of course Atlantic City, New Jersey. Definitely, this is the first time I've ever been to the show, and I know it was a first-time show that they ever did. I like the show overall. I know there was a lot of bad stuff and things like that. Like, I know there was a lot of photo op problems and things like that. But then again, I can't speak for that. I mean, I can only speak for what I experienced there. And my personal experience at the show, I had a really good time. It was a very laid back show. It wasn't too crowded and things like that. So, like I said, I can only speak for myself. I can only speak for how my experiences at the celebrity convention went, and my overall experience was a good one. I had a really good time. I met the 4 people that I wanted, and was able to be done my people within like an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, and then left the show, and then went to go grab some dinner and things like that. So I can't complain at all. There was no line, so I took so all the celebrities like took their time with all the people there, and they were all very accommodating. So I can't complain whatsoever about my overall experience at the show. So without further ado, let's get on to the actual people that I met at the show. I didn't buy anything from the vendors because the vendor room is pretty small. There wasn't too many vendors there. If they had like a Blu-ray or DVD table, I might have looked, but I'm not really into like the knickknacks and like wristbands and things like that, so I didn't get anything from the vendors and all that stuff. But so this is just strictly autographs and celebrities and all that stuff. So let's get on to the first person that I met. It was the big reason why I wanted to go to the show. The first person that I met was Danny Bonaducci. Of course, all of you know him as Little Danny from the Partridge Family and things like that. I know he was on The Other Half with Dick Clark, but I mostly know Danny Bonaducci from like pop culture status, whether it be guest appearances on the Hollywood Squares with Tom Bergeron, or his cameo appearances on other TV shows like Married with Children. And of course, what I got in to sign him on, he was in a couple episodes of That 70s Show as Eric Foreman's assistant manager at the burger shop that he worked at, I think Fatso Burger. Danny Bonaducci played in a couple episodes Eric's assistant, or his manager, I guess, like his boss. So I really wanted to get Danny Bonaducci to sign my That 70s Show Blu-ray, so you could see it's not up here. It's actually put away safely in my little cabinet drawer where I keep all my autographs and everything. So wanted to get Danny Bonaducci onto that, and Danny was a really uber cool guy, really nice guy. Me and him talked for at least like 5 minutes or so, and he was actually telling me, like, he was like showing me photos on his table that he actually had a couple of photos from himself from That 70s Show and the episodes he was in and things like that. So me and him were talking about that for a little bit, and he was like asking me where I was from, and I said I was from Philadelphia, PA. And funny enough, Danny Bonaducci grew up probably at least a half hour away from where I'm at. He grew up in Broomall, Pennsylvania, which is really cool because that's like literally like not too far away from where I am. And so we were talking a little bit about that. He was like asking me about like what neighborhood I lived in and how it is over there. And he said how he used to live not too far away from where I'm at, down the street, and like in the little town down there when he first bought a house. And so it was just really cool, like, we're 2 Pennsylvania guys talking about our state of Pennsylvania and things like that. So it was just a really cool conversation. And like I said, Danny was a really cool guy, and things like that. Really nice guy. I was really happy that I was able to meet him, and with someone that's big of his status. So really nice guy, Danny Bonaducci. So here is my picture with me and Danny Bonaducci. And here's a picture of Danny Bonaducci signing my That 70 Show Blu-ray set. And his autograph on it. Okay, guys, so moving on to the next person that I met. The next person I met was to add to my Friday the 13th box set, because I have so many signatures on that. I'm always looking forward to adding new signatures on it. If a Jason Voorhees alumni person is ever at a show and all that stuff, I always go grab them. And I had to go grab this guy, Miguel A. Nunez Jr. All of you know him as Demon from Friday the 13th Part 5, but he's also been in Return of the Living Dead, Joanna Man, the first live-action Scooby-Doo film. He had a small supporting role in that. And he's been in just countless and countless amounts of other things. Just look him up, Miguel A. Nunez Jr. Miguel, just like Danny Bonaducci, a really, really cool guy as well. Really nice guy. He actually had the bright idea of, he was like looking at all my signatures on my set and everything. He was just like fascinated by just how all the signatures I have on my box set. And then I pulled out one of the DVD cases, the slim DVD cases where it was Friday the 13th Part 5. So, because that's the one that he was in. And I was going to ask him if I can like pull the sleeve out and everything and have him sign the sleeve. And he actually had a better idea. He's like, well, how about if I just sign the inside of the case? So that way you don't have to do all that. So I thought it was a really, really cool idea. He did it in red Sharpie, which I thought was a really, really nice choice because, you know, red Sharpie blood for Friday the 13th. So it's a real, and it came out really, really nice. And it was really cool. Like, he signed, he wrote his character, and he went, ooh baby, like one of his quotes from the movie. So, and Miguel was also telling me some really funny stories about working behind the scenes on Joanna Man, and like he was talking to me, his agent, and like a couple other people next to him at the other table, and that he was like discussing these funny stories about behind the scenes and things like that, about how the bird like pooped on him and things like that. So because he's like, speaking of seagulls at the Jersey Shore, I was about this, and he told a story about how I think it was on the set of Joanna Man where a bird like pooped on him and things like that. So it was pretty funny. But like, Miguel, really, really cool guy. I was really glad I was able to get him. So here is my picture with me and Miguel A. Nunez Jr. And here's a picture of Miguel A. Nunez Jr. signing my Friday the 13th set. And his autograph on it. Okay, guys, moving on to the next person that I met. This is another big one for me because I'm a huge fan of the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, and when they announced her, I was really, really excited. So the next person I met was Emily DeRaven. All of you know her as Brenda, the daughter, in the Hills Have Eyes remake, but she's been in a lot of other stuff. She was in Brick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And I know she was there for the reunion for the TV show Roswell, which I never even heard of the show Roswell, but it intrigued me now looking at the cast because you have Emily DeRaven, you have Katherine Heigl, well before Knocked Up, and being in all the Judd Apatow stuff. So I'm kind of, it's about like, it's a sci-fi sort of like drama about aliens and all that stuff. So it intrigued me to see because of the cast and everything. So that's why she was mainly there for the reunion. And the next person I met was also part of the reunion, but I got her on something else, but I'll tell you that next. But speaking of Emily DeRaven, Emily DeRaven was probably my favorite meet of the whole show. She was so nice, such a sweetheart. She's Australian as well, which I thought was really cool. I loved her Australian accent. And when I handed her my Hills Have Eyes Blu-ray, because it was already signed previously by Vanessa Shaw from New Jersey Horror Con a few months ago, she was telling me like, "Oh my God, you got Vanessa on here," and she was telling me about how her and Vanessa still maintain contact with each other, and she thinks of Vanessa as a sister and things like that. She was like asking me where I met her and things like that, and she was just so nice, so nice, and she was asking me, where I was from and things like that. So I was even telling her about. I was talking to her a little bit about my weight loss journey, and she was just so fascinated by my weight loss journey, and she even and the way she took a photo with me and things like that. So she did the selfie way, and she did a really good job with the selfie picture. And right after we took the selfie, she said, "Do you pinky swear that you'll keep up your journey for your weight loss?" And we did a pinky swear, things like that. I promised her that I would, and things like that. She was like really smiley, and just an overall really really nice person. And she was really the only one that had a decent sized line. I guess a lot of people were showing up to see her for the Hills of Eyes. So because that's what a good chunk of her photos on her table were from the Hills of Eyes. So, but easily my favorite meet of the entire convention. Could not ask for a better guest than Emily. So, here is my picture with me and Emily DeRaven. And here's a picture of Emily DeRaven signing my Hills of Eyes Blu-ray. And her autograph on it. Okay, guys, moving on to the last person that I met at the show. The last person that I met at the show was also part of the Roswell reunion, but I got her for something else. Mahandra Delfino, I think that's how you say her name. Uh, she was in a couple of other things I recognize, RSVP with Jason Mewes, but I got her to sign my DVD of the Oscar-winning contender, and I say that sarcastically. Shriek, If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th, which is the low budgeted version of Scary Movie, and she plays one of the supporting characters along with like Julie Benz and Coolio and Tom Arnold, like amongst that group. Harley Cross, like among that group of people. And Mahandra was a really really nice lady as well. I talked to her for quite a while. Like I said, she was asking me where I was from and all that stuff, and she was like saying like, "Well, you're a Philly guy," so she was like asking me like these because she said she was looking for a good cheesesteak, and she was like asking me all the like the some of the best cheesesteak places that she can look for and things like that. And I was telling her about my favorite cheesesteak place to go to, and she said she was going to look into that. So it was just kind of cool. It was similar to the whole Caroline Williams experience when I met her a year ago. Just this whole conversation about cheesesteaks in Philadelphia and things like that. And like I said, she was just really, really nice overall. And another really cool thing too, she was selling these like really cool merchandise and things like that. And because I'm kind of curious now about the show Roswell, she was selling like these like she had like mugs and keychains and things like that. And I'm always looking to add something on my Phillies neon light, which is over here. Can't see it though, but I'm always looking forward to adding something to the neon light and things like that. So she had like these Roswell keychains and things like that, and she gave me a keychain, and I think it was $10 for a keychain, which is a nice price for that. So just overall, another really nice lady overall, and I'm really glad that I was able to add a little Roswell keychain to my neon light. So gives it a little bit another decoration on there. So here is my picture with me and Mahandra Delfino. And here's a picture of Mahandra Delfino signing my DVD. and her autograph on it. And that is it, everybody. That is the entire convention recap. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.